Now, the actual psychology of letting go of control and all that stuff is a little bit beyond this class, but I highly suggest that if that is an issue with you, go see a therapist. Yeah. Yourself, help. That kind of brings into the next thing of enabling, right? Is if you're going to do everything for your child, and we've had everything from my kid is now in jail, and then to they wrecked the car, to they just got a B on a test or an F on a test. Whatever it is, if you swoop in and save the day and bail them out and buy them a new car, and and they don't get a job, it's okay. You can take all the time you want to live at home, and you're just enabling them because you're scared of what's going to happen. Then that also shows I do not trust you.
Yeah, and they're going to learn very quickly that they don't need to do anything.
Yeah,
and then that's going to kill all their motivation. It creates a new host of problems that don't need to be there.
Yes, and to be perfectly blunt, what I found is that is a lot of people's issues of them not willing to not worry. They're like, I need to worry. They are addicted to worrying.
Yep, I've been there.
And you need to let go of that. I mean, yes, there is some risk involved in doing it this way. Yeah. But there really isn't, because the risk of doing it the other way, where you're controlling them and having tight leashes, they can never grow. And suddenly you get the 40-year-old kids still living in their parents' basement, and you go, oops.
Yep, and one thing I wanted to touch on enabling. Enabling is a very misleading word. The way I've always thought of enabling is it is lovingly disabled.
Yes.
That's the most succinct way I've ever figured out how to put it.
Enabling is loving your kids so much that you tell them they can only play in the yard and can never play in the street, and then it's about to get dark, just bear with me, and then the kid kicks the ball over the fence one day, and since he's never been outside and doesn't know how to live in the outside world, runs in the street and gets hit by a car.
Yeah.
That is enabling. Versus, you can play in the street, and they might, ride a bike and crash and scrape their knee, and they learn from it. Pain is a wonderful learning device. If you try and prevent pain in everything they do, then oops, I'm
obviously
sorry.
Within reason.
Yeah.
You don't want to jeopardize their safety.
Yes.
And I I just want to make that clear, because I know what Danny's saying, but I want to make sure that you know as well.
There's a difference between jeopardizing their safety and letting them touch the hot stove after you told them it is hot.
It's not going to kill them. It's going to maybe leave a nice little red mark, and
it'll hurt,
and it's going to teach them. Don't do that again.
Yeah, but that's such a more powerful. What's more powerful? Don't touch the hot stove and the parents nagging you about it.
Or ow, the stove is hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one? I don't even need to answer that. So the Pygmalion effect is another one of those huge mistakes. It is something that I talk about a lot. It is when you have assumptions and expectations of someone, those will subconsciously be implanted into the other person through your speech patterns and the way you're talking to them.
Yeah.
If you can't do it, and I don't think that you are capable and competent, then you're going to subconsciously rub that off onto them. Yep. If you believe in them and you say, you know what, you can do this. I believe that you can. You just might need a little bit of time and effort and energy, then they start to believe in themselves and they start to trust more.
They will rise or fall
to the expectations
to meet your expectation. That's pretty much.
And there's a difference between expectations and you must get straight A's all the time. There's I know you can be the best you can be versus you must get straight A's all the time. One is flexible. One is maybe you did do the best you could and you got a C on this test.
Yeah.
In which case, the problem isn't you. The problem is the studying method or something versus I expect you to get all A's everywhere all the time.
It doesn't really leave a whole lot of breathing room. It overwhelms them and it just makes them feel unsafe.
Yeah, but if you expect that they can do more, good expectations is when they go, I don't feel like I can go anymore, and you know that they can, that you push them a little bit to show them how powerful they actually are.
Key word there is a little bit. You don't want to push them so hard that it further traumatizes them.
Yes, but this is when knowing them and actually trusting them and having a relationship comes into play, because then all of a sudden, I know when to push Hayden a little bit. It's like, dude, we can do this.
Yep, and vice versa.
Yeah.
That's how caring relationships work, is you respect the other person and acknowledge the other person's abilities and their capabilities so much that you won't accept second best.
Yes, and that's kind of, how we work in all of our coaching relationships is we know the power that all these people have inside them, so people go, I don't know, I just go, I'm not going to accept that. Like, we're going to get to the bottom of this and we aren't going to, screw around anymore. So that's relationships.
If you've been taking notes.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest one.
Yes, absolutely.